New comic book day is right around the corner, so it's time to take a look at what's on my pull list. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and this is the Pull List. It's my weekly video series where I take a look at everything coming out so I can tell you what's on my pull list, what's on the chopping block, and what books I'm going to make a game day decision on, books on the maybe list. Now, this week, a pretty middle of the road comic book week for me. It's not too heavy, not too light, plenty of good books coming out, a lot that I'm excited for. And this week, for the first time in a little bit, the book I am most excited for is technically an independent comic. This, from Skybound Entertainment, is Transformers, issue number 1, written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson with colors by Mike Spicer. Or is he the letterist? I'm pretty sure he's the colorist. Who's doing letters? Why is it not on the cover? Anyway, Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson. Now, I am not a big Transformers fan, or I should say, I'm not like a diehard Transformers fan. I never watched the 80s animated series. It was just about, 10 years before my time. And I've watched all the movies, or at least most of them, but I don't have like some outsized connection to any individual Transformer, except Bumblebee. I'll fight you over Bumblebee. But my point is, I don't have that connection that's like, oh, I can't wait until this comes back to comics. I never read the previous IDW run, but now that Skybound has the license, I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. What I'm really into this book for, though, is the creative team. Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer, also the team behind Do a Power Bomb, also the team behind, what's the other one? Murder Falcon. Murder Falcon, a book that I very recently reviewed since our homie Skip passed away and asked me to read it before he did. And one thing about Daniel Warren Johnson is that with any book he does, it starts with like some outlandish title or outrageous situation and ends with like a gut punch that you just, for whatever reason, didn't see coming emotionally. And of course, this could be a little bit different because it's not like one of his creator-owned works. It is a licensed character that does exist already elsewhere. And Hasbro has to decide, ultimately what happens with these stories. But if there's anybody that I think will take a concept like Transformers and make it mean something in 2023, it's got to be Daniel Warren Johnson. And so I have subscribed to this series. I'm very excited for issue number 1. Cover price on that is $4.99. I'm grabbing cover A. Although there are a lot of covers and you really can't go wrong with any of them. Now, since we're already talking about indie comics, let's go ahead with the rest of the list, starting with another, big licensed property. This is Darkwing Duck issue number 9, coming to us from Dynamite Entertainment, written by Amanda Dibert with art by Carlos Cid Laura. Now, Darkwing Duck has been one of my favorite titles since it's been coming out. We initially thought it might have only been a 6-issue mini, but people keep buying it, so Dynamite keeps releasing it. And that is a fact that I'm very excited about. Now, Darkwing has basically been going all over the world trying to prove that he does not need a team. No matter how much the Justice Ducks want to form, no matter how much we want to see the Justice Ducks together in action, Darkwing works alone. Or at least he thinks he does. So we ended issue 8 on a cliffhanger. Basically, Darkwing and Neptunia are competing to kind of solve this latest crime before the other one can. And I'm assuming, based on the way that cliffhanger ended, they're going to be working together in some capacity in issue number 9. And I'm very excited about it. It's whether he works with her or not, it's going to be fun. I really love this series. Cover price on this is $3.99. And once again, there are a ton of covers for this book, and it's actually difficult to make a decision. I love the Mirka Andolfo cover B. There is a Ken Hazer Batman 700 homage. There are just a lot of covers that are amazing. So I don't know. Take your pick, but I'm grabbing cover A at the very least. Cover price on that is $3.99. Now, let's move on to the next book, or the last book on the indie pull list this week. And that is The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue number 72. If you don't know, Walking Dead Deluxe, they are reprinting The Walking Dead in a series or a bunch of single issue comics in full color with deluxe cardstock covers, all the works. It's a deluxe format for a reason. Robert Kirkman claims that they're not going to ever be printed in any other format besides these single issues, and so far he's true to his word. Now, you might know, or if you're following this, then you're like, oh, like this just came out last week. I don't know when this happened. It might have been like a couple weeks ago. I didn't really notice, but The Walking Dead Deluxe is coming out every week until they get to issue 75. I guess they're trying to do a big 75th issue spectacular. They wanted to hurry that along. So adjust your budget. Just pay an extra $8 a month for this to come out 4 times a month. Cover price on this one is $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that's it for the indie books on the pull list. If I just stick to the list and don't buy a bunch of extra variants, this just cost me $13 this week. Now, let's move over to DC Comics, where there's only 2 books on the pull list, and the first is Batman issue 138. This is part 4 of the Gotham War. Now, I told you guys last week that whole Red Hood book was going to be essential. My bad. It wasn't essential. Because part 3 was in Catwoman a couple weeks ago, and now part 4 is right here. You can either read Red Hood or not. What I will tell you, though, is Catwoman 57 is absolutely essential to the story. If you didn't read Catwoman, you might be a little lost going into this one. The Wayne Manor is owned by someone else. And I don't know how I feel about who owns it, but they are clearly going to be a major player in the Gotham War. It's a twist that I did not see coming. And I'm also wondering what that means for another book that's on my pull list, and we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks whenever the next issue comes out. All that to say, the Gotham War is heating up. It's been pretty good so far. And listen, while I liked last week's Catwoman issue, I do feel like it was a little bit lacking on the artwork. We're not going to have that problem with Batman 138 with art by Jorge Jimenez. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see the continuation of the Gotham War. Cover price on this is $4.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And the last book on the DC Comics pull list this week is the Shazam, issue number 4. Shazam, written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora. If you're missing that Dan Mora artwork from Batman Superman World's Finest, you will find it here. So grab Shazam. It's been a fun series so far. Basically, Shazam and Billy Batson's got some weird stuff going on. Shazam is not who you think he should be for whatever reason. Why is that the case? How is that the case? How are they going to fix it? I'm going to find out in this book. It's been really, really fun. Cover price on this is $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that's it for the DC Comics on the pull list. Cover price, or if I stick to the list, those books are just going to cost me $9 this week. And that means we need to move over to the House of Ideas, where Marvel is taking up like half the pull list. Starting with Black Panther issue number 5. Black Panther, written by Eve L. Ewing with art by Chris Allen. Black Panther has been exiled from Wakanda, but he is running covert ops in the city of Burning T'Chaka. And what we're finding is that Burning T'Chaka has a culture all its own. As a letters page, or one of the letters in the letters page last issue put it, Wakanda is a nation with many regions and customs and dialects. And it's very cool to see, like, you know, one of those fleshed out. And it's pretty dope. I can't argue with that. So seeing how the city of Burning T'Chaka works has been interesting. And what we've learned is that there are 2 rival crime families. And it was funny because we literally called them crime families. And then when we're talking about the threat of what could happen since they're beefing, we just call it a gang war. And that just led me to like reflect on the nature of the term organized crime versus gangs and criminal enterprise, right? Like, I mean, they all get hit with the same laws and statutes, but we refer to one as gangs and we refer to the other as families. And there's not really a reason for that I can think of, except race. But hey, we're not here for these lectures. Anyway, Black Panther number 5. Basically, Black Panther's going to have to stop this gang war, this mafia war, this family war somewhere. But we're also getting little bits and pieces of how Wakanda works, and there's a caste system. There's some very interesting stuff brewing in this book. Black Panther number 5 out this week. I'm actually very excited for it. Cover price on this is $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And the next book on the Marvel pull list is Fantastic Four, issue number 12. You guys should know that I binge read 7 issues of Black Panther to get caught up yesterday. And first of all, Fantastic Four is a very fun book. It doesn't really feel consequential. Like, most of these issues are done in one story arcs, at the very most done in 2. And they're always fun adventures, but they kind of return us back to some status quo, or maybe some little thing has changed to get us interested in the next issue. And I don't know. I could see at some point that becoming an issue for me. Like, it's kind of a lot of, it's interesting because it doesn't feel like anything important is happening necessarily. And I like that. But also the thing that I like, get angry or criticize other mainstream comics for doing, and like just setting up big events. Like, I criticize those books for doing that. Fantastic Four is kind of not doing that. And so it's appreciated, but it also does make it feel like nothing's happening. So what's a happy medium? I don't know. But all that to say, Fantastic Four, especially since Jeremy Adams is not on Flash anymore, is probably taking the place of that as like the most fun superhero book on the pull list. I'm really enjoying it. It's got a nice family feel, and I like the sort of, one-off adventure nature of the book. Cover price on this one is $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. In case you were wondering, this is a brand new story arc with this issue, so you could pick it up without reading anything else prior to it, if you wanted to. Now let's move on, as the next book on the pull list is Immortal XMen issue number 16. Apocalypse is back, and I'm still 2 issues behind on Immortal XMen. 2 or 1. I need to just have an X-Men day the way I just had a Fantastic Four day and get caught up on all things X-Men, because for whatever reason, Marvel's putting them all out the same day, same week of the month, even though there's like a million titles. Anyway, Apocalypse is back. Why is Apocalypse back? I don't know. It's going to have something to do with Araco. Probably. Eventually. We'll see how it goes. Cover price on this is $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A, which, by the way, that Mark Brooks cover is really awesome. But anyway, next up on the pull list is X-Force issue number 45. We are inching closer to resolving this whole Colossus is under mind control story arc. It's not going to happen for like another 2 issues, but this should be fun build up. Cover price on this one is also $3.99, and I'm grabbing cover A, which leads me to the last book on the Marvel Comics pull list, which is X-Men issue number 27. And if you couldn't tell, I'm already, once again, behind on everything that's happened since the Hellfire Gala. Probably because Marvel's putting them all out at one time. Hey, I don't know. I don't make the rules. So I don't really know what's happening in X-Men. I specifically don't know what's happening in X-Men. Everything else I'm fairly caught up on. But happy fall of X. Cover price on X-Men number 27 is $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. That is a pretty cool looking Cyclops cover. So that's all the Marvel books on the pull list. If I stick to the list, those will cost me just $20. And I say just, it's like double how much anything else cost me this week. But whatever. Cover price on those are $20. And that brings my grand total for the week to $42, which is not bad. That's before taxes, before my 10% subscriber discount over at Ultimate Comics Raleigh. So I can't really be mad. A fun week for sure. The one I'm most excited for, like I said, is Transformers number 1. Got to see what happens there. And then I'm probably going to read Darkwing Duck, and then Batman, and then Black Panther. It's probably in that order. And eventually I will take an afternoon and get caught up on all things Fall of X. What are you excited about? What books are on your pull list that you just can't wait to open? By the way, we talked about that on stream last week. So if you missed it, you can watch the replay. Huge shout out to all the channel family. Thank you guys for supporting the channel and making my pull list quite literally possible. Appreciate you all. I'll see you guys in another video real soon. Till then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.